Welcome back, everyone, to another episode of the Deadcast. Oh crap! I forgot the episode number.
11.
11. All right, last was our 10.
Yeah.
Sorry, guys. This is our Deadcast, episode 11. This is episode. I'm really bad with numbers now. I'm starting to lose track of all of them.
Episode 11.
So no.
Here, it's episode 5.
Season 6 of The Walking Dead, episode 5, called. You usually know the names.
Now.
Now?
Now.
That's a lame name.
It's called Now.
It's called Now. To my left are my very best friends. My roommate, all the way at the end, Brandon Lang.
Hello, everybody.
Hey, Brandon.
What's up?
It's great to see you again.
It's good to be here.
And then this gentleman next to me that I would climb like a tree. His name is Mark Hicks.
Hey, everyone.
It's and good to be back. Yeah, always good to be back. And I'm Oliver Terrata. Now that we got the introductions out of the way, what do you guys think of this episode?
Go ahead, Mark. You seem to be so completely disappointed with it.
I'm just upset. That's all. I'm upset. I'll leave it at that. We'll go into details. We go into this episode, but after coming off like a very good, obviously last episode was dealt with Morgan, and it still was kind of a disappointment because we all wanted to know what happened to Glenn.
He's dead.
Like they just dropped the ball on us, and they keep like don't worry, we're gonna touch base on that later. It's like I don't like being told that or feeling like that as the viewer, but at the same time, I'm gonna keep coming back every week because I want to know. But
what the fuck happened to Glenn?
Yes,
just throw it out there.
Tell me.
Yeah. And I know I get it. They want to get people to come back and talking about it still, but I mean it's just the point where enough's enough. People are gonna stop giving a shit, and then.
Yeah, I mean, there was some.
I already don't. I'm not gonna lie.
There were some key moments in here. Like obviously, we discovered some other things about other characters, but as far as the story goes, I still don't feel like it moved very much, and
not at all.
We're kind of in the same position we were like episode 2. The ball's not rolling really anywhere, and that's what's disappointing to me because all these episodes, it's like you'd get an episode that's slow. But the next episode would follow up with something that's completely righteous that makes that slow episode awesome. It ties a knot, and they completely connect to each other, and it makes it feel worth it. And this episode to me, after watching the last episode, just because it didn't really correlate to the story, mentioned 2 seconds of what was going on in reality, was just kind of meh.
I didn't mind it as much just because Morgan is interesting, and I was curious, what happened to him between, the last time Rick saw him till now. So I gave them a pass on that, but with this stuff that they did this episode, nothing really happened. The story didn't progress really forward. I don't know. Just they could have done so much more with it.
Yeah,
it was disappointing.
It was.
We were led on by the preview.
Yeah, so the preview kind of made you think that Maggie was going to go out and save him, and she does. She acts how you think she would act. Fuck it, I'm gonna go and get my man, and she gets all geared up, ready to go. Then the other dude, Aaron, was like, "Listen, I'm gonna go with you." And you're like, "Yes, all right, we're gonna see her go after Glenn." And even if she didn't even make it by the end of the episode to Glenn, I just would have been happy that somebody did something rather than just. Yeah. They're all literally sitting around waiting for Glenn to come back. No one's doing anything, and that was what I guess was the frustrating part.
Yeah, and they got names written up on the walls of all the people.
Dead.
Yeah, of all the people that are pretty much it says in loving memory or something like that, and it's got Glenn's name and what's his name? Who's with
Nicholas?
Nicholas, the dickhead. But yeah, it's got those guys' names written up on the wall, and it's just wow. I was actually surprised they even put them up there. First off, because I wouldn't ever count Glenn out if just knowing his past.
Yeah.
Which eventually she does wipe it off, but you're 100% right with the preview. It shows them go into the sewers, and
which they do.
Yeah, but she completely just cops out at the end. She's like, "No, I'm pregnant." Okay, cool. Yeah. So you're not gonna go out, but it's just the way she does it is selfish too, because Aaron's like, "I'll just do it. Don't worry, you stay back. I'll do it." And she's like, "No!" She just screams. And way to get the whore to come through the sewers. That's a great thing to do. No, it's not. So that was just
she did on purpose.
Yeah, and I wasn't a big fan of that, and it just makes me think too. Obviously they're going down into the sewers too during this episode, and it leads to that one way out. I'm assuming there's probably another way out that's probably further, but I don't know. I'm just being very nitpicky, and there's some things that I guess didn't make sense.
One
in
thing
this episode.
one thing I did like though, where they met two zombies in there that just looked totally disgusting. They're doing. They still are doing an excellent job. I think every episode I feel like they're just topping themselves on like how nasty they can get with the zombies. And the other ones, they just look like they're just covered in poo and like decaying. And they look
One of
super.
them was in half. Like he was just like grabbing on.
Yeah,
the
it was like it was so nasty looking.
Yeah.
So I still like that a lot. At least we got some zombie action in there, just a little bit.
That was definitely nice, and I still think there's a lot of people that are up for grabs. And Aaron, I was especially worried he might have got bit in that particular scene. So it's nice to get some tension. I would agree. That's probably the best part of this episode was that part.
Yeah,
because you got a little bit of tension, and I actually thought Aaron could have died right there. But the fact that Maggie turns around was disappointing, and it kind of sucked at the same time. I mean, as far as other big things that happened, Rick finally found his love, I should say. I guess
he got some.
Yeah,
he already knew.
He got a little smooch.
Yeah, I mean, whatever. They're both single now.
And then
her husband's dead.
Yeah, also Tara and the nurse decided to hook up.
I don't call it hooking up. They just
got another smooch.
Got an emotional smooch. Yeah,
they had a moment.
They had a moment.
Vulnerability.
She still seemed. Tara was still confused. I think because. She kissed her and she was like, "What was that?" And she was like, "It's the end of the world." She was like, "No, it's not." So I mean, I kind of thought that girl was going to have a thing with Eugene.
Yeah,
because he kind of had a moment with her when they were getting all attacked. Maybe she goes both ways.
That's what I was telling you. I was like, there's going to be like, I thought it was going to like pan out or something of them like close up, and Eugene would be right there, and she'd be like.
Or he could have been.
I got love for you too, baby.
Or he could have been, when they were kissing, like he did in that other episode with Rosita and Abraham, where he's just watching.
Yeah,
he's a creep, man.
Yeah. That episode was so funny, man. Abraham's just like fucking Rosita, and like Eugene, is he like looking over like a belt bookshelf or something?
He's like, he's just looking through the shelves. He's just so weird. And I think Tara catches him too. He's like, "Oh shit!"
Yeah, like she points it out in the episode. And Eugene, or what's it, Arnold? He's just like, "Whatever."
Yeah,
like, just keep. He's weird. Like, just keep going. I was like, "These people are weird, man." But that was funny.
But I thought they would have had a thing because they're both kind of nerdy and weird and cowards.
Yeah.
So they had that. Also, the Alexandrians, they're still losing their shit. At this point, it's starting to get a little old. Like, I get it. They're stupid, and they don't know how to deal with all this stuff. So there's got to be a point where they're like, okay, we need to, act smart. But they don't. The first thing they do after they realize, after they get together and Rick has his little speech, they just go straight for the food, and they're like, it doesn't matter. We're going to die anyways. Let's just take all this shit.
I'm not letting my family starve.
Yeah. Are you retarded? Like, what was the point of surviving this whole time if you're just going to waste all the food and then expect to die?
Yeah. Completely stupid. And then Spencer comes along. He's Deanna's son who shot the truck driver in I can't remember what episode. It was 2 episodes
ago. Episode
2.
Yeah, second episode.
Which was pretty good. He comes out with like this heroistic speech saying, no, this isn't right. We're going to get past this. We need to ration the food. Essentially gives this really good speech. And then
they end up putting it back.
Yeah, everyone ends up, doing their thing. And he fucking steals the food anyway. It shows a scene where Deanna's like mapping out everything for farming in the community. And then she comes in and she hears a glass break. And she goes in the kitchen and sure enough, Spencer's drunk. And he's like, well, he's just kind of an asshole about it. And she's pissed at him for it. And she pretty much blames Deanna, like, well, you're responsible for your husband dying and your son. Like, she puts it all on her. Like, everyone that's died is because of you, which is pretty fucked up. And at the same time, it's annoying because like that moment where Spencer gave that speech, I was like, I might like this guy.
Yeah.
I'm like, this guy might be a good person.
Yeah.
And then like he turns right around, and you're like, this guy's an asshole. So that kind of sucked. Maybe if he wasn't an asshole, I would have enjoyed this episode more too. Because I'm like, okay, here's another guy that gets it.
Yeah, he looked like one of the only Alexandrians that actually gets it.
Yeah.
What's her name though? At the end of it.
Yeah.
The blonde.
Yeah.
I forget. I don't know her name, but Rick's girl.
Rick's Boothang.
Yeah.
I can find it in 2 seconds. Let's do it.
He said.
I can't remember it.
But yeah,
she's the slutty maid from American Horror Story. That's how I remember her in my mind.
She gave that speech to the rest of them. She was like, "This is our life now."
Yeah. So like later on in the episode, there's a zombie in a house, and I don't know what she was doing there.
It was Jesse.
That's what I thought.
Jesse's girl. I don't know what she was doing at that lady's house. I think she was going to give her something. Maybe get her cookies. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. She was kind of the one that was trying to keep.
But then she
finds
finds that someone's a zombie in there, and so then she ends up opening the door and killing her. And you can see that the woman just slit her wrist. She's stupid.
People are pussies, man.
Yeah, and especially if you're gonna go like that. I mean, they all know that when you die, you turn into a zombie. So like those are selfish, and that's like essentially what all the Alexandrians are. They're just selfish. They just think about themselves, and
rich people.
I mean, yeah, they live.
It's people that have been sheltered from everything, which it's kind of weird because it's like we're at what is it, season 6 now?
Yeah,
where we have Rick's group who's been in the apocalypse for so long knows what the state of the decay in the world, like the freaking state the world's in, like it's completely a disaster, and you can't trust anyone, and they come across this community that's literally never had any encounters where anything's been
no real
concern.
problems.
Yeah, so it's like been this self-sufficient community, and now they're finally dealing with like some kind of turmoil, and they're all losing their shit. But it's like,
and they've been doing it for the last I don't know how long. Like, sure, we give them a pass at the beginning because they are sheltered and everything.
Yeah, but like by now,
but it's been I don't know how many days. But,
well, no, this whole season so far has been one day.
Oh,
it's still they finally made it to the night.
Right, but
so
even
that
through
was all
the end of last season, they were trying to tell.
Right. They were trying to tell them that they were still like oblivious to everything. So at the beginning of this episode, that's when they were like trying to. They should realize by now, by the end of the day, like this is how it is.
Yeah,
but I don't know. It's just. I'm getting over it.
I would have been
just
like,
kill all of them.
Yeah,
man.
if I was Rick, I would have been like, I would have showed every single one of them a view of all the walkers that were in that pit, and be like, hey, look at this. This is what you're up against. And
he could have,
I would have given people a reality check by now, but it's just, I guess that's part of the show. There's always going to be characters and things that the writers do that frustrate you, and it's pretty much just to tell the narrative and to progress it forward. And there's things that do frustrate me, like even there was one of the wolf zombies that ended up coming out in the middle of the night here when what's her name, Deanna's walking down the street, and she actually took all the supplies that her son took.
And she's gonna take it back.
Yeah, it looks like she was taking them all back, which was cool. But like Walker comes out of nowhere in the middle of the community, which was just kind of like, okay, so perfect timing at night, middle of the community. This dude comes out of nowhere. And this is after Rick's been barking. Like, there's so much noise in the community that's going on all the time.
Well, I mean, we don't. So that's the guy that got injured. We don't know when he died or
true.
How they don't turn immediately all the time. So who knows? But apparently they didn't find him beforehand.
Yeah, which
he was hiding somewhere
later in the episode that Carol couldn't find the body.
Yeah,
but I don't know. I just thought, to me, it was just like, I don't know. There's a lot of stuff in this show that is like that. Like, it's like, oh, the perfect moment, but. I guess you're right. You can't. I'd give them a pass on that, but at the same time, sometimes it's just like, okay, that's annoying.
Yeah.
But we get to find out. Deanna, she's kind of turns right there, and she actually beats the shit out of this walker.
It's all covered in blood.
Although she's like almost like one of the wolves, as far as she just stabs it in the chest and gets blood all over.
She's still oblivious as to the proper way of killing a zombie.
Yeah, instead of like actually.
Also, she can't reach his head. Like.
Right, but once he was on the ground, she was still stabbing his chest, and like it's not gonna do shit. You gotta.
Yeah, and then Rick comes around, saves the day.
He's always there to save the day.
Yeah,
one day he won't be.
But Deanna's, I think she's could be potentially someone that is here to stay, and someone that might actually be able to adapt to the new world that she's encountering. So it's going to be interesting to see how she turns. This episode, she's like ghost face the entire time, like just.
Yeah, she just doesn't know what to do because she was so confident in like the way she did things that she just, I guess.
Well, she officially handed the torch.
Oh yeah, she was like, they need someone like you, not like me.
Yeah.
But what do you guys think of her like plan? Like, if you noticed when she made out that map of her plans,
it was cute. It was
worth doing
for her. Is it worth doing? I don't know. I
think it is. You need to be self-sufficient.
I don't know if anybody's going to listen to her.
That's the problem. I think people have lost respect for her as a leader, and then they still are acting like little bitches to Rick. which I still don't understand. Why does he even keep them alive? I don't know, but I don't know if they'll ever.
Unnecessary killing.
Well, I mean, her plan was essentially just farming, wasn't it? Within
Farming,
the area?
being more self-sufficient so that they don't have to worry about scavenging.
Yeah,
because they had this entire time to do it. They have just empty land that they could. have used.
I think it's absolutely a thing they should do. I mean, if I was in an apocalypse, the first thing I'd be looking up or trying to find books on would be farming. Like, I would want to know how to farm because...
Well, Herschel was a farmer, so they had him in the prison, and he was farming.
Yeah, so things like, I mean...
He had a pig, too.
Yeah, that'd be totally, like, super important to do, and I think that would be... It's wise. Like, obviously, that's smart. Rick already knows, though. Like, he knows the ways, and that's why he suggests these things to them. Like, this is something we need to do.
Yeah.
He knows how, to survive. They've been doing it for so long. So it's only right, I think, that he tells them and gives them advice on this is what we need to be doing. If we continue to do this, we can survive. We can live a pretty prosperous life. Although I still think, they don't have a doctor yet, which, maybe we'll find one because this girl's actually turning out to...
She's reading Grey's Anatomy.
Yeah, she's learning things. So...
So do you guys think they all still have a future within Alexandria? You think they're going to stay there by the end of the season?
Yeah, I think obviously the walls are holding up pretty good.
I was just going to say that. If the walls hold up.
The walls are, I mean, it held that truck in pretty good.
Yeah, and even still they boarded it up, but there hasn't been any signs of the walls,
Except at the very end of the episode.
But you know what?
Now they're bleeding, which how...
It's going through like the sheets because the sheet metal that's on there.
So it's so thin that
that's what sheet metal's thin.
Well,
like I know, but
going through the crease,
it's seeping blood.
Yeah. I mean, it could get to a point where, like I said, there's a lot of pressure. I still think if it was me, like they have the gate, I would still be poking these guys and killing a couple of them.
Like they did at the prison.
Yeah, there should be some duty to at least kill some of the walkers.
Yeah, but you kill like 4 and then. You could just get 4 that come back to the back of the line.
Yeah, but I mean, as long as you're clearing out the line every day, it's still going to alleviate some of the stress that's being put up on some pressure throughout the wall. And I think even as you kill bodies, it stacks bodies up to where they don't really have as much leverage to push on things because
that's true.
They have things. I don't know. I'm being really critical thinking.
Then they can start walking up the bodies, the live ones, and then just fall over. I don't know.
I guess that's true.
That's true. I guess if they let it get to a point like that,
they'd be climbing a mountain of bodies.
Yeah. I've already said this, Doug. A monster truck would be so clutch in this situation.
But they're not gas efficient,
You're right, they're not. But dude, all they need is a couple runs, just like.
Well, they're in Alexandria. I mean, maybe not necessarily a monster truck, but definitely like a snowplow would, just.
Something
with some spikes on the sides.
Yeah. Yeah, dude. We think so video game like that. That's why I love this show, though, because you can think all kinds of things. Like, man, this would be really fun to do.
You think you need like a war rig in there?
Yeah.
Yeah, seriously. You get a freaking tank, man, like straight out of Fury. Just get that tank.
Well, they had a tank. And then the governor had to go fuck shit up.
Yeah.
But, did they show anything substantial? I don't think they did in the next episode. In the preview.
Let's get to one more thing we missed.
What's that?
Carl. We can talk about Carl.
Nobody cares.
I think it's going to allude to something. Obviously, I think that's the reason they showed it.
What was that kid's name again?
I don't know. It's the kid. Is it Robbie?
Isn't it Robbie?
Jesse's son.
Yeah. Jesse's son.
Jesse's son.
The guy, the kid that's apparently
he was dating Enid, which I didn't even know.
My
girlfriend. Yeah.
What do you know? Stupid kid.
Yeah, I don't care.
Well, there's just a scene where
I'm just afraid that he's going to do something stupid towards Rick, and it'll be his fault.
Yeah, he's definitely
because he'll want revenge for his asshole dad. I don't even know why he's even upset about his dead dad, who beat him and his mom. Come on.
Yeah, I guess the only thing I can think of is you still love your parents at the end of the day most of the time, whether they're assholes or not.
Thankfully, my parents did not beat me in a very, very abusive way. So I don't know how I would be in that situation, but I would tend to be, if someone's injuring my mom, whether it's my dad or someone else, I'd be relieved that she's safe now.
Yeah.
And if that happens to be my dad, then, fuck you, Dad.
Yeah, you're a dick.
But
yeah,
I mean, I don't know why. I just don't understand where he's coming from. I wish they at least would give some context as to like why he even cared so much about his dad, or why he hates Rick so much.
Yeah, they don't have
for
like any
killing his
flashbacks.
dad. Right? Yeah, like so.
'Cause he's a kid, he's stupid, doesn't know.
Yeah, I guess.
Yeah, but kids, I don't know, man. I can tell you, like, from personal experience, when my dad was a jerk, I didn't like him as a kid. It's not like
Right,
I
I mean,
held on to it, like, oh my god, I love my dad.
Right. No, I mean, right. I mean, I love my dad too. It's everybody has issues with their parents. I mean,
Yeah,
no one's
they're-
always.
they're-
It's
they're-
not always rainbows and sunshine.
Yeah, but if they're assholes, like, you're like, well, shit, I don't want to be around my parents right now. And especially if somebody was, like you said, hurting your mom or even you, like hitting you, fuck you, dude, you're dead. Life is relieved.
Right.
No more stress. So, I don't know, man. And I still don't know where he's coming from with Carl, because he hasn't even let Carl explain, like, dude, there's nothing between me and Enid, like, at all.
Yeah,
which
but
clearly I think there's probably is something between him and Enid, but like nothing. They
I just
haven't done anything.
don't trust this kid. Like first he threatened Carl that he would tell Rick what he wanted to do, and he went and told Rick anyways, which Rick is getting all worried about now.
Yeah, and
he
Carl,
has something that he's trying to like. He's trying to fuck over one of them,
Yeah.
whether it's Carl or Rick.
Well, I hope it's Carl.
Yeah, yeah. And I guess you could say this kid does get even with Carl, because Carl's like, well, I'm going to go after Enid, like, and go outside of the walls.
And he's like, you do that, I'll tell your dad, and then your dad will get people, and then someone will die.
Yeah, exactly. And he's like, well, now we're even, like, pretty much, like,
Yeah.
you know, like, at least I told you. And, you know, I think Carl took that to heart, though, and actually realized, you know what, he's actually, as much as I hate this punk, he's right. Like, I can't go outside of these walls. So I don't think he plans on doing it. But,
Right, but he went and told Rick anyways.
yeah, and he
now
also,
Rick,
this is what concerns me. No, he asked Rick how to use the gun. Like, he's like,
right, which again they didn't really show. He just said, "There's your your target," and then they just cut away. Like
it's true.
did he
They
learn how
never
to
even
shoot,
went
or-
back to it. But
Yeah.
I still think that's going to play a part in an episode down the line, whether it's a drastic part, somebody, you know, critically, like one of the main characters dying or getting into a shitty situation, or even one of the Alexandrians paying the ultimate price due to this kid's fuck ups.
Stupidity. Yeah, I just kill him now before he does something bad. I'm just worried about him.
Yeah, I actually like this kid a lot as an actor that plays him, but I don't know, man. It's funny. I just recognize this as the kid. Like, he's been in other stuff I've seen, and he's funny.
Yeah,
But it's weird because he's playing like a serious, jealous asshole role. So it's not, doesn't get to play the best character, but shit, he's in The Walking Dead, so that's pretty cool.
yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, I think as far as this episode goes, there's really not a whole lot more to talk about. That's
it. Yeah.
That's really the episode as far as all the importance. People get smooches. You got Tara.
So yeah, back to the preview for the next one. Was there anything substantial? I don't remember. I don't think there was.
You know, it didn't really.
They showed like Daryl. They found a
That's
dead,
exciting.
It just looks like it looks like we're going back to the group that's outside of the
which
camp.
is still It's I think they're going back in time because it's daylight again. I don't think it's the next day.
Yeah.
I think it's them. They went back in time to when they first last talked to Rick.
Yep.
And it's them still.
I think so too.
And then for some reason it looks like they're out of their vehicles. So
Michonne and Abraham.
Sasha. and Abraham.
Sasha.
Yeah.
Yeah. And they're doing something. I don't know. So maybe they lead them away. Maybe they don't. I wonder what happens.
Yeah, we'll see. And it's
But
gonna be,
again, it doesn't resolve Glenn's issue.
no, it's not. I
So-
don't think they're even going to touch on Glenn next week either, which
Not at all.
is completely frustrating. But again, you know, I'm cool with seeing Daryl and Sasha and Abraham because we really haven't got a whole lot of them
That's true.
this season. So it'd be nice, but come on, give us some Glenn.
The
Like,
more that they're not talking about it, I'm losing interest. If Glenn died,
yeah, it's just not it's making it almost feel like not super important. But
It's less of an impact,
know
I
it
think.
is,
And
but, you know.
I mean, I'm sure filming it, I'm sure they have to have kept this in mind of like how long it would have took. But if they don't resolve it by the end of the mid-season break, like no one's gonna care when they talk about it again. So they need to do something with it, and it better pay off in a good way. Like it better be awesome. But
yeah, they better.
Still
They
waiting.
got to do this right. Like when we were talking about theories in our last Deadcast, if you guys haven't checked it out, you should check it out. But we were talking about like the theory. You gave us an awesome theory that, you know, Glenn, he's gonna die. He's gonna get bit, but he's gonna die in like heroic manner.
he needs to get. One of the things he says in that episode was like, what was it like? Oh, do you think you're gonna make it back? And he was like, I need to make it back. So he's gonna. I still have this. No, I still feel that he's gonna make his way back to Maggie, you know, say his goodbyes, and then, you know, do whatever he needs to do when he dies.
Yeah. And that would be a good...
And I'd be fine with that if they did that, but leaving it up in the air for so long, for this many weeks, it's just... I don't like it.
No, I don't either. And I think that it's taken away from these episodes that are out right now because...
Yeah, because people are like, well, what the fuck is this? I just want to know about Glenn. Exactly.
Yeah, like this episode in particular to me, I was watching it this whole time in my mind. I'm not like as engaged with what's actually going on. And the only part I felt really engaged was when Maggie and...
Was about to go get Glenn,
when they went in the sewers. I'm like, thank God we might get something, but we didn't get anything. And... it sucks. Like, as a viewer, it's like, it's frustrating. So,
yeah.
Like I said, I'm still going to keep watching. I still love the show. And like you said, I mean, the effects keep getting better every week. This episode was definitely probably the weakest, I would say, of the season so far, which isn't that bad because this season's been really good up to this point. But it's just like, come on, give us some Glenn. Give us some freaking closure here or some explanation on what happened. And I'll be... absolutely joyous to watch the rest of the season.
You don't get closure in life, Mark.
Yeah, but in shows you have to.
Well,
you get closure in shows.
You have to get closure in shows, yeah.
So it's okay. In life, I don't need closure all the time. I'm okay with that as long as I get my Walking Dead closure here.
Right,
so,
yeah.
So give me something. But yeah, I mean that's essentially. I'm still looking forward to next week's episode because I love Daryl. I know everyone else loves Daryl out there.
Hell yeah.
You know, and this definitely didn't really show much. It just showed him like looks like riding through the forest on his motorcycle.
Then getting off of it, that's the important thing.
Yeah, it doesn't sound like he really, it didn't sound like he had any communication with wherever the hell he was. Because based on, I think Sasha and Arnold were trying to call him, but it didn't look like they showed any
I have no idea.
back. So.
Well, we'll see next week.
Yeah, we will see next week.
So on that note, we'll wrap it up.
Episode 11.
Episode 11 in the bag.
Pretty uneventful.
Yeah. But next week, hopefully, will be eventful. So stay tuned. Hope you guys enjoyed this episode. If you like more Deadcast, subscribe. So stay tuned. And then you can go back and see our last ones. And then like this video if you like this particular Deadcast. I won't blame you, though, if you don't like it because of this episode. So we'll go back and look at our other ones. And then thumbs up those. And then if you want to discuss it more with us about your thoughts on this episode of The Walking Dead, comment. We do love comments. We always reply. And yeah, signing off. You guys have a good night.
Yeah, take care, guys. Thanks so much for tuning in and giving us your support. We appreciate you.
Love you.